We have a rematch in the main event of UFC Vegas 104 on Saturday. It has been a couple of years, and I'm not quite sure why we have a rematch, but a rematch we do. Roman Dolidze will challenge my next guest in the main event, Marvin Vettori. Marvin's the 8th-ranked middleweight in the world, one of the fun guys to watch and to talk to. Marvin, how are you, my friend?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you again. First of all, how motivated do you get for a rematch against a guy that you had a pretty convincing win over last time?
Yeah, it's it's not really about my opponent at all. It's really just about me going back and just feeling good, feeling those emotions again back in the cage, and that's why I'm doing it. It's I really not focus on my opponent. It's okay. Emotionally, I'm very flat and I'm calm. I'm very calm. It's about me. It's not about him. It's I'm not really even making that many calculation, rematch, this and that. What's gonna put me in the rankings? What's gonna do for me? It's another fight. It's another good fight. I gotta go out and just put on a great performance, and that's it. Just like shuttle like the all the bullshit rematch talks again with this guy because he's been talking a little bit. So it's that's it.
I just want to ask you one thing about what he said because, he gave you credit, but in an interview he did with Bloody Elbow, he said, one of the biggest problems of mine is I don't use my best side all the time. I don't use my grappling. I think sometimes I need to use my grappling more. When you look back on that last fight, do you think there's any substantial change that he can make to make a difference against you?
I don't think so, but who knows? At the end of the day, that's the beauty of MMA. I don't think you can learn how to wrestle in a few months, but it's who knows, man. Maybe he did. Who knows? Maybe.
You haven't been in there for a while, right? So will it take a little bit of time? It was a fight at Apex against Jared Cannonier in June of 2023. Will it take you some time to get back, kind of get the feel of the cage and get the feel of the movements in there, or do you feel kind of comfortable like when you get in there, it's going to be old home?
No, I don't think so. To be honest, if I do, well, I don't know, but I don't think so because it's all here. It all happens
Mhm.
there. So I'm ready, and I mentally I never switched off. So I don't think so. And if I do have a little bit of nerve, they're gonna actually help me. So I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Sure. You say you're not worried about the rankings. You're not worried about a rematch or anything. Like, you were right there. You fought Adesanya. You've been right there for so long, and now you're ranked number 8 going into this fight, fighting the number 12 guy. So, what is your motivation now? How do you get yourself up, and what do you think is the thing that's going to make you, want to go and show the best Marvin Vettori on Saturday?
I mean, just put on a good performance. Put up a great performance. Ideally, getting a finish and taking it from there. I think it's all gonna happen. I think it's all gonna happen. I'm a new person. They're gonna, it's a lot of things fell into place, and I think now is my time. And when it is, things happen pretty fast. So I believe in it, and that's it. I don't have to force anything. I don't think so.
Do you feel like in the past you tried to force things? Did
Oh,
like
for
I
sure.
know,
For sure. For sure. But
yeah.
it didn't work out, didn't it?
And do you think like you say it doesn't work out? So do you think you fought?
No, listen, it got me far, but it didn't get me the belt. So
Yeah,
eventually,
because you became kind of a notorious figure in the sport, like with your talking and with all the stuff that you had done. And hey, you won a lot your share of fights, right? You got way up to the top. You
of
fought for
course.
the title. I mean, so in some ways, the old Marvin was pretty successful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, but like we live and we evolve and we keep learning. And at least that's what I go by. And I think that's an evolution of my old self. You know, this is an evolution.
How is the Marvin 2.0, if we could call it that, the new Marvin Vettori in the cage? Forget about interviews and outside the cage and selling yourself. You're now known to the fans. The fans know you. You're a known commodity. How does the in the cage Marvin change? Like, what differences do you think we see with you when you come back healthy this time?
I mean, you'll see, but I think it's much more smart, just more smart. You know, just more more smart, more don't have to always. And it's not always balls to the walls. Who has it longer, kind of thing. You know, it's not always that. Fighting,
Right.
it's an art, and I knew this, but then to actually um, apply it is not easy. It's
You
really
know,
not
you're
easy.
when I look at it, I mean, you obviously have been successful enough to fight for the title. You've won fights of the night. You've been ranked, way up there, right? Um, Sometimes some fighters try to be somebody that they're not, right? And do you feel like you were trying to be somebody you're not? And do you feel like when you're just being Marvin, you're going to be better than you've ever been?
No, I think I was who I was in that moment. I no that's the beauty of fighting. I think the beauty of fighting kind of like shows your real your true colors. You know,
Sure.
when you're in there. So no, I was who I was, but I was a bit in a tunnel, and sometimes being in a tunnel, um, like push away a lot of things because you don't see them because you're so laser focused. But by not seeing them, sometimes you cannot notice them either, and that will maybe play against you. So that's how we put it. So now I think I kind of widened for sure, or even got out of that tunnel, and that's the evolution that I made. I think, and I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good for me, and it's. I'm gonna show it now.
What is life like when, I know not only is fighting your job, but you love to fight, right? I mean, that's the one thing that's always come across about you is that you love being in there and competing. When you don't get the chance to do that, like, is it have any mental effect on you? Like, are days longer because, you don't have a fight, didn't have a fight to work toward?
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, it's like it's what you do, but I mean, it's how can I put it? I mean, no, it's. I mean, I always like mentally. I always kept myself busy. You know, like it's not that I haven't like mentally or even physically. Even when I wasn't fighting, I was like either climbing mountains, like going to hike or thinking about it, or even as soon as I could, obviously doing my PT, going to the gym, watching trainings, and so this is how you live as a warrior. I believe this is how you live as a warrior. You cannot fight, but you can do other stuff and think and sometimes you enjoy life maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
We're
Let's
like we'll enjoy life in the sense of like like using time for things that you weren't using it as much before.
Right.
I mean, when you fully into like a camp or something like that. But yeah, I mean it's not. At the end of the day, it's I still kept busy.
Let's wrap up on this. Been a little bit of while since you got to finish, right? You were a guy that was finishing a
Definitely.
lot of fights. Been a while since you got to finish. Given how you feel now, and given what and you know Roman very well, how do you feel about your chance to finish this fight on Saturday?
Well, I believe I believe I can. I believe I'm visualizing it. And I'm pretty confident. But the most important thing is me. He's not easy to put out. This guy,
Yes.
he can take a lot of beating. So by saying that, I don't mean that I can't, but it's what I'm focused on is to really beat him a lot. Beat him, landing a lot. Landing clean, make him miss, and all that, and then hopefully I bring you to the point where you can't take it no more, or something so clean that it's gonna put him out. But I'm like I said, I'm not forcing a finish, or just the fact me saying it is not gonna really like make it happen. In a sense,
Right.
like on the other side, I have another guy that's gonna also. So I'm gonna keep beating him. Like just landing and landing and landing and landing and landing. That's where most of my focus is. The
A
rest,
win
the
over
rest
Roman
will play
Dolidze
out
is
itself.
Yeah, I was just going to say a win over Roman Dolidze is just as good as a knockout. But those of us who were sitting ringside, we get a kick out of those knockouts and those submissions. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
no, I
where.
mean, listen, like, of course, I want to finish too, but me saying it, he's not gonna, he's not.
Yeah,
I have another guy in front of me.
no doubt. That is the dream. Marvin Vettori, you can see him on Saturday on UFC Vegas 104 in the main event against Roman Dolidze. Always good to talk to you, Marvin. Good luck on Saturday. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
See ya.